Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on Ravenport. We are going to carry straight on from where we left off in the last episode, so let's get to it. It's going to have just about finished up. No, it won't. There's a lot more on that. I've misjudged it. I was looking at field 11 and I was thinking it's going to have just about done all of that field by the time we get just our one pass around here, but it's really not, is it? Right, we've barely even scratched the surface of that field so far, so that one's got a fair way to go, which means that it should tie in quite nicely. We'll get field 11 done, and this one possibly around the same time. I don't think it'll be quite the same time. I think this one will take a bit longer. And then we're going to leave the land lying fallow for a bit, aren't we? And then after we've done that, we can sort of see what else we want to do. I am thinking that if I try and put fertilizer on the field first before I do anything else, that's going to give us this. We'll just make sure that we've got all the fertilizer that we need on the field. We'll do one coat of fertilizer on these fields, and then after we've done that, we'll do all the planting, and that'll include also the extra layer of fertilizer. Do I do cotton in the field down the bottom, as well as cotton in the big fields up here? This is assuming that we can reach our $2 million mark before we actually need to start planting. We'll have to make the field a little bit bigger. I did say that we'd do that. We're not going to join all of the fields together, but there are 3 of them that we will be joining together. I'm not going to bother going right out to the edges like I did with this one, all the way around the outside of that one. I don't think we need to do that, because all that will mean is that we've then got to nurse our way around the edges of everything as we get to it. Now, I'm looking... You know what I think it is? If I look towards the town... I look towards the town, and I do get serious lag. Right? Not always, but very often when I'm looking out towards the sea or I'm looking towards the town, I tend to get a lot more lag than if I'm looking in any other direction on the map. Helper D has a nearly full grain tank. 80%. I'm gonna leave Helper D for a minute. Actually, you know what? I think we ought to go chasing after him. So we'll just stop this one here a second. Helper I has completed their task. Right. We'll get back to you in a second. We'll go to you first, and yeah, okay, fine. That's not really done what it needs to do, but it's probably close enough. We will go chasing after that combine down over there. Get this one all the way around. You can't turn too sharp with this, otherwise it jackknifes the trailers and it causes us problems. Also, I don't want to be driving down the hill too fast. I need to make sure that I keep a close eye out for any trains coming up through, or I'm going to run into trouble with those. Right, we've done okay so far. Now all I've got to do is get into the fields, not jackknife the lorry, and get to the combine before it actually stops. Can I do it? Every time we get to it, just literally as it's like it's reached that magical point, and then it stops. Decides it doesn't like us anymore. Right, so long as the lights have stopped flashing. Oh, okay, that's, I'm not going to go backwards now, am I? I can go forward a little bit. Yeah, like that. I can try and shove... Yeah, there we go. That's probably not the best way to treat your trailers when you try and do some reversing with it. And I know that there are people out there who can reverse a set of trailers like this without any issues whatsoever. I am not among their number. As you may have noticed, I am not among their number. My reversing skills with a set of trailers like this is more than somewhat limited. It is completely non-existent. But this is okay. I've accepted this and I've moved on. So, no, I feel that I've made progress. Sometimes we just have to accept our failings and then we have to move on in life. And it generally makes us feel a lot better. Or, no, we kind of just ignore the fact that we're completely rubbish at it and hope that everybody else can do the same. Either way, I don't really mind. I know I fully accept that I am rather rubbish when it comes to doing it. I'm just going to stop him there. I'm not going to do any more with that. And The combine can go through as well. So then we want to head back. I want to finish this up. I do actually want to do that now. So we'll just quickly finish this bit up. And then once I've done that, let me spin you round a minute. Like that. And then we can go on and do this. So I've got just those little odd bits on the end here. I'm wondering whether I should bother doing this field at all. If we're going to get our big cotton harvest, if we're able to fit the if we're able to do it, if we're able to make all of the money that we need this time round, and we can just immediately get started on planting cotton before we make our move to our next map. Yeah, do I do cotton on this field? Really questioning whether or not we should. I'm kind of thinking that maybe this field should just be left to rest for a year. Because I know some places in the world you leave fields to rest. You use them for 2 years and you leave them to rest for a year. Other places it doesn't happen at all. Here in the UK we generally have this system called set aside, where you get paid not to grow anything for a while. A lot of farmers don't like the idea of set aside. It's not. Some do long-term set aside where they just have strips, and that is sort of done in conjunction with the environment as well. Environment Agency, I think, or something like that. You get payments for leaving it for 10 years, and that does actually then become a bit of a nature strip. But just the set aside where the field has not had anything done on it for 1 year only, all that has to do is to stop farmers from overproducing food and to try and control the prices a little bit. That's different to... Oops, I didn't want to do that. That's a little bit different to... like, set aside, the short term, is different to long term set aside, which is generally done for environmental reasons. Or, well, I mean, a lot of farmers do it for the payments rather than actual environmental reasons, but there are environmental reasons behind it. They get turned into nature strips for X amount of years, which allows the wildflowers to bloom and so on and so forth. But yeah, so it's not unheard of for fields to be left without anything growing in them for a period of time. So that's what we're doing at the moment. We're leaving the field to grow. We're leaving the field without anything growing in it for a period of time. And in that time, we ought to be able to make a small fortune from chickens, another small fortune from wool from our sheep, and I'm drifting off here because I'm trying to look rather than... I'm trying to look with the combine rather than with just me. A bit from the wool. We'll also have some horses that will be ready to sell as well. We'll have horses that will be ready to sell tomorrow, actually, and I think we got another lot the following day. So we got 2 lots of horses that we'll be able to sell. And then on top of that, we've got... what have we got? 2 lots of... Well, even 1 lot of horses. That's 100,000. It's like 100 and... How many thousands? It's like 150 grand, isn't it, for the horses? It's a lot of money, anyway. We do get a lovely chunk of money from the horses. And right now, see, it just seems like a little bit laggy in places, just depending on the direction you're looking. And I don't know if it's because we've landscaped some of the map. I don't know if you tend to get this more, where it's very much hopping between 30, it keeps jumping between 30 frames a second and 60 frames a second, and it's causing these little lag spikes. And I'm wondering if it's because we've, like, terraformed a little bit round here, haven't we? We've terraformed it a bit, and we've also gone through and we've done a bit of work with the... Oh, there we go. Right, that's completely full. Almost 2 rounds for 2 full tanks. That's pretty good. I'd say that's a pretty good yield, really. Hang on a minute. I need to... Oh, I can put you out with the engine off. That's good. So we'll put that one all the way out there. And we want... Oh, helper D has nearly got a full tank. Right, fine. I'll run alongside helper D. I'll run you up this way. I'll run alongside helper D, and we'll unload that one on the run. And then we will head over to the next combine. We are... Well, we're over halfway now on this field. We are definitely over halfway now. I do need to slow down a little bit. Driving in the crop is definitely not good. And like this way, why am I getting lag facing this way? And the only thing that I can think is that we've done quite a bit of heavy terraforming in everywhere that we look. Going in this direction, we've done quite a bit of heavy terraforming. We've created new fields looking in this direction, and a few other bits and pieces as well. And I'm wondering if that is playing like much of a part in the fact that we're getting these lag spikes on the map. Whether it's just that, or whether it's something to do with this map in particular. I get this in Felsbrunn as well. Like, certain directions that I look in Felsbrunn, I get the most horrible lag. And I have done since the game first came out. So I'm not quite sure what's causing that. I'm sure there is a very logical explanation, and I'm sure many of you probably know what that logical explanation is. So if you can head into the comment section down below and let me know what it is, I would be very grateful, because then I might at least be able to pretend to understand it. Let me run down there a second, and we can start getting that that combine rather, unloaded, and we can start the hired help working in this field. Hopefully, the hired help will behave itself going up and down this field as soon as we just get this little bit here unloaded, and we can just kind of leave it to it, so then we can go between the two combines unloading them, and they will continue to do their work up and down the fields. And then once we've done that, we'll be able to go on with planting. Although, well, like I said before, we do have a few other bits that we want to do before we can do the planting. Ideally, we want this to be kind of the last harvest that we do. We do this, we'll plant, and then that'll be it. But whether or not that's actually going to be the case remains to be seen. And no, go forward, go forward, go forward like that. There we go. Right. The only thing, you know, I was saying about possibly doing cotton as the final harvest on here. Let's just, I'll move these lorries a minute, or this lorry a minute. I'll go and put this one up out the way, because if we're setting the hired help going, we're going to want this one just out of the way, so that we're not going to have it causing issues while we're doing our turning round and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if cotton could be planted using the planter that we've got. Talking about having cotton as our very final harvest here, but that will probably mean having to go and get the other planter. So let's just have a quick look at that a minute. I'm going to come back over this way, not to you. No, we want to go to you right there. So yeah, I've got that one. And so we got barley, we got oat, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish, and grass on there. We don't have cotton. So we can't use that one to plant the cotton. Which means that if we do want to do cotton as our final thing on this map, then we would need to go and get a planter rather than a row crop thingy. And it can be the Great Plains one there at 18 meters, or the Valtra 12 meters. I'd say probably the Great Plains one would be the better one. But that one there does have the cotton. See, right there, that's the cotton symbol, isn't it? I think it is. Oh no, that's the cotton one. That one there is cotton. That's the canola, that is. That's cotton there. So yeah, we can have cotton, but we got to use the Great Plains one. Now, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that we used to be able to use the Great Plains cedar and use a trailed thing along with it. I think that you had to change it round, and you had to put the tank thing on the front rather than on the back. But I do think that there was a way to do it. I think that it did actually let you join the two together. You have I think it was that one actually, the Hudson, the Terminator trailer. Not this one, the Seed Hawk air cart, that wouldn't go with it. But that one, I'm pretty sure that one did work, although this is a different one. We'll have to see. We'll have to sort of try that one out. Ooh, that one's just about full now. I want to go back to you. Right, anyway, we'll worry about that a little bit later. I'm not quite sure at the moment. Let me start that one up and head off into here. I don't know if we're going to have time for doing that this week. I mean, if we do, if we want to plant that in here as our final crop, I'm still sort of undecided as to whether we use it as our final crop, because we could just do cotton on the next map and not worry about getting a whole load of new machinery stuff going on here, so that we're able to advance things along a little bit faster on this map, because I know that quite a lot of you do want me to move on. I know that there are also just as many of you that seem quite happy with me being here, actually, and quite happy for me to keep going and do yet more still on this map right here. But I think overall, the bulk of people are now ready for me to move, which is why I'm wanting to speed things up a little bit. So I am kind of leaning towards cotton being in the next series rather than in this series. Just because I think it will end up being a little bit better if we can do that. Right, I'm just going to watch this combine up here, and we'll get that one around the corner. And then, as soon as we've done that, we will... what will we do? We will take that one there, and we will go over and we'll empty out the other combine, and then we'll come back to it. We'll probably have to go and empty out the trailer altogether. What's the prices today? $1,314 for wheat at the restaurant. I think that our first double trailer load, we will go straight to the restaurant and we will sell all of the wheat that we have on board, because that is a very substantial price. I think that I think that we'd be quite foolish not to try and go and get that money immediately if we can. Right, you are going to go waltzing off down across there, so we'll let you carry on with that. And we're going to jump and skip into here. And we're going to head over to the other combine. And we'll start loading you up, if we can get this lorry to move. It's a little bit slow, pulling away, but then it does have 129,000 litres of wheat on board. So there's a fair weight there. You know, we do have a fair bit holding us back. Anyway, another thing that I have to talk to you about is the next map. Now, I have decided, after some careful thought and some research and so on, as many of you know by now, the Black Mountain map in Montana, which is not actually on the Mod Hub. I thought it was on Mod Hub, but it's not. It's available on FSUK. That's going to be the next map that we use for the time-lapse. So I did consider using it as a replacement for this one. But no, that's going to be the time-lapse map. So it's also going to be more similar to the hard-working series that I did way, way back at the end of FS15. A lot of people have commented that they would like to see me doing something similar to that, which was kind of more like the Boulder Canyon series, where I had to cut the trees down to make the fields to start with. That's kind of Black Mountain for you. We've got some fields there already made, but there is a great deal of fields that, well, a great deal of land that we will have to make our own fields from. So I'm quite looking forward to doing that with the time-lapse series, because it's not something we've done for a very long time. But no, we're talking about replacement for this series today, and that is going to be there's an Alps map, not the Tyrolean Alps that I did. That's a small scale machinery. We may end up looking at that map when we come to doing a replacement for the next series, where we're going to start doing the new map every 4 weeks, or at least I'm going to ask you whether you want a new map every 4 weeks, and we're going to start working it like that, like I did for the later part of FS17. That is style is going to be coming back, but to start, there's a few other things that I want to do first, and I have talked about this quite a bit, so I don't really need to talk about it today. Mostly it's just that a lot of you have said that you'd like me to do a series that focuses on big scale stuff, and I haven't really done that. I've got a little bit of big scale going right now, which is good. You know, we built up to this, but I haven't done a full series where we're big scale all the way through. So that's going to be the next series. That's what we're doing. So I've been looking for a map that would be suitable for that. And the one that I have come up with is, it's something to do with Alps. It's Northwest Alps or something. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's on the Mod Hub. And it looks really good, actually. I'm quite impressed with how good this map looks. And Smooderlini, who is one of the admins on our Discord server that we have, there's a link to that in the description down below. If you've not joined the Discord, I recommend that you do so. It's a way for you to be able to influence the series and put in requests for things that you'd like to see, things you'd like to have done, and just generally enjoy having a chat with everybody that is part of the community there. It's quite an active community. We do get up to quite a lot there. Most days I am on there. I say most days. Most weekdays I'm on there. I'm not going to lie. I don't generally go on there at all at the weekend. I try to avoid it completely at the weekend. I do usually lurk in the shadows. I go and look at what's been said and what's being posted, but I don't comment. I don't interact at the weekend. That's my family time. But during the week, I do go onto Discord and I do have a chat most mornings and evenings my time. So you will see me on there if you come and join the Discord. It'd be great to see you there. But anyway, Smooderlini, who's one of the lead admins on there, he has done quite a bit of work on this map. And what he's done is he's provided me with a save game file that has... Now, do I have crop destruction? No, I don't. I can't remember if I had it on or not, but no, it's only the time-lapse series. I have that on now. I've gone and had a look at this save game file that Smooderlini has provided me, and I'm quite impressed with the fact that he's done all of this work on it. What he's done is he's gone and bought a huge amount of animals on there. I'm just going to bring that one over to there a second, and I'm going to go to this combine here, like that, and I'm just going to grab this bit over here. He's gone and bought all a load of animals and filled up the animal pens, and he's gone and put a load of food into the animal pens, and he's ploughed up a field and basically got a whole load of stuff ready on the map. So we've got two choices. We can take his save game file and I can use that one. I will have to alter a few things round because he's got it on the start from scratch scenario, whereas I feel it would probably be better for us if we go and keep it on the easy settings that I've had on this one. But that's a minor alteration that I can make. So really what I'm asking you this week is get in the comment section and tell me, do you want me to use the save game where we've already got quite a lot of cows and quite a lot of pigs purchased on the map, and we've, they've got the start of the feed, so that the feed is all topped up and that is there. It can keep us going just to start off with, and our aim when we get there will be to expand on that and grow it further. Plus we will also then be able to, we'll have the animals in place and we'll be able to focus on creating a load of fields and getting our arable enterprise underway, and we'll already have the animals in place. So it's really up to you. Do you want me to use the save game file that's got the animals kind of well established, and then we can go and start working on those a bit later on? Or would you rather I started the map from scratch, just started how it's loaded onto the mod hub and go from there? I can do either. It doesn't really matter. I can do either option. I can just start from scratch, or I can use Smooderlini's save game and we can skip the first steps of getting some animals established and things like that. It's entirely up to you. What we will do is we'll take the value of the land that we've got here and we will use that as sort of a bit of starting capital to get going with the next map. That is one thing I said I would do. So we'll be able to buy a good chunk of land, and we'll also be able to get a load of machinery going as well. But that is obviously entirely up to all of you. Which do you want me to do? Are you going to want me to start off from scratch again But obviously we're going to have a huge amount of money. That will make a difference. So we will be starting from scratch, but we'll have a load of money so that we can buy up what we want and so on. Or do you want me to just go with the one that's already got the animals and stuff in there, and we can sort of move on from there? I know some of you will want me to start from scratch because you'll want to see me do it rather than going on a map that's already partway done. And then others, you're going to be wanting the animals, like we've got the basics taken care of, and then we can start worrying about building up the fields and stuff. Either or, I'm not doing an official question. I'm just going to get a rough idea of what people want via the comments. So you will need to comment. If you want to have an influence on this, you will need to make sure that you get down there and actually post a comment. And then I will take that into account while I'm making my decision. But that is the next map that we're going to go to. It's the it's not the Tyrolean Alps. It's something to do with the Alps, Northwest Alps or something like that. I genuinely can't remember what the full title of it is called, but the map itself does look really good, right? It's really open land. There's a lot of open land on it, and it's going to work really well. I mean, yeah, it's set in the Alps in Europe, which means that technically we shouldn't be doing cotton there, but the map has got cotton enabled on it, so I'm quite happy to do the cotton on there. We're going to do that like we're going to be running a great big farm. What I like about it is that it's wide and open, and there's like a couple of small fields, but most of it doesn't have any fields yet. We've got to make our own fields, and that's one thing that I do really like, is the fact that we've got to go and make our own fields. So we're going to be going around this map, and we're going to be carving, we'll buy some land, and then we've got to carve out our own fields on it and create them before we can start doing any work with the arable stuff and things like that. And the aim of it is we're going to be using all the biggest scale machinery. The big combines, the big tractors, the big planters, the big plows, everything. It's all going to be big scale. And it's going to be the same with the grass as well, because that map, remember, we're going to be focusing on cows and pigs for our animals, and we're going to want a lot of this. Lorry is all over the place. I've got a feeling I'm going to end up jackknifing this if I don't slow down a little bit. It's cows and pigs is going to be our main thing. Oh, steady. I had the brakes full on going round there, and it was struggling to slow down. All right, there is a lot of weight on this truck. Isn't it, for the US, not lorry. But yeah, it's that's the series is going. I'm going big scale. We're going maximum scale for everything. So the biggest mowers, the biggest grass, and there is a mod. I don't know if I need to have a look. We'll just pause right there. Stop. Right. We've still got the 1,314. So we'll sell all of this lot, and then the rest of the wheat that we get, we'll take that back to the yard so that we can put it in for the animals. I don't think I've got the mod enabled on here. Is it under miscellaneous if we do have it? It's not there. I don't think it is here then. So it'll be under miscellaneous, I think. Maybe silos, I suppose. Farm silos. Silos are used to store the crops. Right, see that there? That can be used to store just about... That's chaff, isn't it? That symbol there is chaff. Something that I don't like is that when you mouse over the symbols, it doesn't tell you. So you half the time, you spend most of your time sort of... Oh, it is chaff. Yeah. Right, that's the chaff. So what's the TMR symbol? Looking for the TMR symbol now. It's got to be here somewhere. Well, anyway, doesn't really matter. There is one that's... Well, there we go, folks. I'm afraid that's it. We've run out of time, which means that we need to head on home. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.